Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, in full pajama form. You guys have seen these before. These are my favorite. Little iffy in the throat area, but don't even worry about all that. We are here to do Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 5, Episode 4, Celebrations and Strange Explanations, I think is the name of this. Listen. Oh, wow. I don't know. For me, Karen just gives me such awkward moments and just pause. Oh, this episode is no different. Listen. Okay, first of all, let me just say this. I stand corrected because I mentioned last week that Gizelle and Jamal, or Jamal and Gizelle, or the girls, whoever got the restaurant, whoever the restaurant name is in, child, you know how we do with our children and put stuff in their name. Although a restaurant isn't a bad idea. Yeah, kind of it is, but whatever. I said that it was closed, and it was closed. It was closed, I guess, for COVID, or they were just having a hard time because of COVID. But now that everybody branching back out, I went to Smoky Bones, which is a restaurant behind Arizona's, which is the Gizelle Jamal restaurant. And they had a sign that said, yes, we're open, hanging out front. So, I mean, I guess they are open. I don't know who owned it, though, but I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. You know, I like to make sure I'm straight up on my straightness, you know. Anywho, so let's get into this episode. Gizelle's at dance class with her daughter, Grace. Now, I think Grace is the oldest child. And you know, she want to talk with her about the dad mom thing, you know. And Grace is like 16, 17. She might be 15, 16, but you know, she got that same kind of dry, flat, no inflection, no emotion way of talking with her parents, kind of like Riley and a couple of other teens. What's that, Dr. Heavenly's daughter, Allura? Allura got a little bit more pizzazz in her voice, but she coming up to that, like, that dry teen, you know, when you ask them a question, they be like, yeah, I don't know, kinda, no. It's just like, come on, get excited about your life. And they are like, I don't do excitement. Anyway, you know, Gizelle want to kind of talk to her about the whole mommy daddy situation, how she feel about it, and the way she asked her, you okay? Well, you got a problem with mommy? No. You got a problem with daddy? No. You got a problem with mommy and daddy together? And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because the camera's there, or if she's asking obvious questions, or if she's asking a question that they've talked about already. I'm not really sure what is happening here, but this is the general theme. This is the general theme as it pertains to Gizelle. Okay? You know, we're going to talk about Jamal. We're going to hint at Jamal. We're going to have our confessions about Jamal. We don't actually get to see a lot of Jamal. We don't actually get to hear a lot of Jamal's voice. We don't even get to see a little snippet of Jamal preaching in his own church. Like, okay, whatever. Then we see Karen. Karen's throwing a party, and it's called a Huger back party, but we're going to soon learn that this party is really to celebrate Karen. It's all about Karen and showing off the house and this, that, and the third. I personally thought the party was a little boring. I don't know where the music was, but generally when you have a party, you have that music banging, baby, banging. So as people drink, they can get something like it was dry. It was so dry to me. I mean, it was clanging and banging in terms of like glasses and scraping plates and stuff, but it wasn't no music. Like what is we doing here? What we got going on? Then we see Wendy. Wendy's at the park with Robin and her boys. She got her 2 little boys. I guess they all C's or K's, you know, like in terms of their first name is K. Start with a K. Carl, Carter, Kyle, Keith, and C's. Robin's all C's. You know, she got a Carter too. I don't know what the oldest boy, the one with the plotchy skin, what is it? I think they both kind of patchy. But anyway, you know, they awkward. They not quite teens. They might preteen, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Wendy's boys is younger. And so they out there, they supposed to be hanging out with the kids. And they having a couple of cocktails while they're out. And they get to talking about the Candiace and Ashley situation, and Robin kind of tries to bring Wendy up to speed. Now, Candiace is the one that was introduced Wendy to everybody, but Robin's at the park, you know, with her kids, with Wendy, which kind of make a little bit more sense because I could see Candiace and Wendy being friends maybe on a professional level, since Candiace was in the political arena for a short period of time and also was a pageant girl, but she ain't got no children. And Wendy is a producer. So yeah, okay. So they get to talking about Candiace and how Candiace viciously attacked Ashley all last season and on Twitter, and Wendy was like, what? Really? That's when you was busy working, when you was busy being a political commentator for CNN, getting your degrees, your 4 degrees that you refuse to stop mentioning. Refuse. Let us hear it in your conversation. Let us see it in your behavior. Anywho, yeah, and so Wendy just proceeds to not only drag Karen, and I think she's gonna be one of them ages, one of those people that age shame you. I don't know if that's gonna work well for Wendy, because in the past, people feel a certain type of way about you age shaming, like that being your claim to fame. Although it's amusing. She's, you know, she know how to read for a bit. But Wendy also tell her about all the stuff that Candiace was saying just in conversation with her, trying to bring her up to speed on the girls, the stuff she was saying about Gizelle. And she was like, did she tell you about us? And then she was like, well, yeah, she told me about Gizelle. And to me it was pretty it was pretty harmless. It's just like you just trying to give everybody like a brief synopsis of what they need to look out for. Like if you got a girlfriend that's high energy, overwhelming, you be like, oh, my friend Jaleesa, she stay doing too much, girl, but she is very, very sweet, but she is high energy. She's over the top. She's a little bit high strung, but she's a lot of fun once you get used to it, yada, 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 yada. It's not talking about them. It's just saying this what's up. Like, you know, don't give Becky no brown liquor. Like, whatever you do, never give Becky brown liquor. Like, you're just giving a person a heads up. I mean, whatever. So then we saw Candiace and Ashley where they met up at a place, and she brought the baby. That was just, I was like, oh, that was like 3 minutes too long. Waiting on her to get that baby stroller. Pop that baby out and put the carrier in a chair, girl. What is you doing? You don't, that whole thing don't come apart. Most people take strollers places where they can pop the baby out, because you can't push the stroller right up next to the table in most places. Like, come on. And she knew what the place was because she ordered a specific salad. But I digress. Anyway, they get into it about their beef. And, you know, Candiace has a platform. It's just like if the judges would ask her, how would you save America in the pageant? She has a specific platform. She has rehearsed it. She has gone over it. Ashley's not all the way giving it to her because she feels somehow that what Candiace was doing with her was a way worse than what she was doing. But I don't know why Bravo not cutting in with flashbacks here of how she refused to leave that girl's house, or how aggressive she was being, you know, even though Candiace was coming at her about drinking. You wasn't pregnant at that time, and you was being your normal vicious self. Like, you wasn't kumbaya, I'm a mama now. No, you weren't. And for you to come from this place from way up here when you have had to be forgiven repeatedly for talking out the side of your neck, Ashley, come on now. Come on. But I get it. We focusing on not liking Candiace this season because Candiace has shown herself to be, it's shown an inability to be able to pull it back a little bit, right? Like, she goes below the belt and she stays there, right? I get it. But still, you know, I didn't like all that indignation from Ashley, considered everything she's done. And Candiace is just repeatedly shows this emotional immaturity that I just do not respect at all. And she did not want to get that baby none. She wasn't giving D none. So then in the middle of all of this, the invitation come out for Karen's party. It's awkward. It's weird. It don't include Ray. I don't know. I don't know what is going on with Karen. It's this need to sort of feel still relevant, I think. And it just comes across very, very awkward. So let me see. When the invitation goes out, we see where Wendy is confused. Ashley and Candiace seem amused. And Robin and Gizelle do what they always do. They just drag Karen. They drag Ray. They drag Karen and Ray. The fact that they move Potomac. Who wanted to be in the Potomac. You know how they do. They call each other and they just pick you apart. And the thing about that is, like, I think we all kind of, you know, maybe hum and buzz a little bit about our circles and stuff. Like, inside the circle, there might be cliques. So you might have a group of 10 people, and then you might have this person that's real close, or this person they real close because they got children, that type of thing. So I can understand them calling and just like chopping it up about it and laughing and having a good time about it. I think my issue is with Robin and Gizelle is that they then come back to you and they're talking to you and they're asking questions, and it can come off as sincerity when really they're just getting more information to talk about you with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that kid and make fun and it's harmless. They will go to bat for you. They will go to war for you. They love you. Like, it's not, there's no mistaking it. And then there's people that talk and pick, and they don't care anything about you. They don't care anything about your feelings being hurt. They don't care anything about going too far. They don't care anything about exposing you in a way that you can't come back from. And to me, Gizelle and Robin are those friends. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't mean that woman no good. Never, not never. And of course, Robin takes this opportunity to bring up the Candiace tea that Wendy gave her about calling Gizelle, she's a little bit of a Gizelle monster. Be specific, Candiace. We call them the two-headed, okay, green-eyed monster. It was a three-headed green-eyed monster when Ashley was full-on attached, okay? We also added Charisse as a symbiote, okay, as a hanger-oner, all right? But the monster definitely has two heads, all right? So then we see Monique and Chris This was probably one of the most authentic conversations throughout this whole episode, where Monique was just saying, Chris, I mean, when I go out of town, I make sure you have everything prepped, so much so that you be taking a nap. I can't really even get you to be invested in how my day was. Like, it's just, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be on. It's supposed to be understood. But I'm just letting you know that I'm feeling a little afraid around the edges. I need you to be more involved. I need you to help more. And I need you to listen to what I'm trying to tell you, like express to you how I'm feeling right now. And he was like, that's fine. All of that's fine. You got all the money you need to make it happen and hire the people you need to hire and do what you need to do to get people to come out here and help you. What I'm just telling you is that when Chris want his coochie, when he wants to get up on top of it, he is not supposed to be told you tired. There's no reason for you to be tired. You're supposed to be spreading it open and busting it wide. And he says it on more than one occasion in this episode. It's something that he is focusing on. I don't get it. I don't know if it was them last few months that he didn't have when she was having a hard time with Chase and he couldn't really get down into that thing like he want to. But this is at the top of his list. And he tells Wendy's husband at the party that all he want to do is coach football and bust it open, spread it wide, and get up, get that, and listen. I believe that that's true. I believe that that's true because Monique is snatched. Monique is all the way snatched, you guys. Monique is fine. Did y'all see that dress she had on at Karen's party? I don't know where my earring went. That dress she had on at Karen's party, child. I mean, them pantsuit. Child, you ain't gonna make me believe she just had a baby. That body is snatched. Anyway, so then we see Candiace and Chris and the wrinkles in the park. Did y'all see how wrinkled Candiace's shirt was? I don't know about the rest of it, but I was like, girl, no. This what you do. This old school. A lot of people don't understand this. This is why you got to be raised properly. You know what I'm saying? When you getting dressed, when you getting your makeup on, all of that, run that hot shower. Run you a hot shower and hang that blouse on the other side of the bathtub. And let it relax them wrinkles in that outfit, because it was like a rayon type outfit. I could see her not wanting to like, iron it or something, or now this works really good. If you can't do the shower, wet you a washcloth just lightly, and put the outfit and the wet washcloth in the dryer and turn that dryer on low and let it tumble. It will relax that fabric, okay? And you will be able to wear it. But don't you ever come out the house the way you like to Joan, the way you like to read people, sis, and you are half-stepping. That wrinkled ass shirt on, no ma'am. And is it me or Chris look like he got alopecia? He looking more and more like Michael every day. And this conversation about her wanting to have children or might not want to, I don't know if she's scared to have them and she's at a place where she's ready to have them. Girl, please get yourself a decent bank account, get yourself a nest egg, get yourself some cushioning, okay? Everything y'all do is for the free or for the low or somebody else paying for it. Even this picnic looked like he went by the restaurant that he chopped vegetables at and got everything for free. You know what I'm saying? Where is Chris' family? Where are Chris' friends? We never, ever see Chris' side of the world come into play. I mean, it's just weird. Even at the wedding, I don't think we were ever even introduced to Chris's people. I don't remember that. I don't understand it. So we don't get to see his kids. He don't have a relationship with his kids. I hear his family well off. What gives? What's tea? Like, do they just not approve of her? You know what I'm saying? Is the ex-wife black, or is the woman that he had the kids with, is she white? What's her situation? It seemed like Chris over here in somebody else's world, and he don't have his own, or he maybe not be a part of his own. Y'all let me know. Y'all tell me what you think. Anyway, that whole baby talk, I was just like, child, bye. Karen is shopping for her party and for decor. Boring. Gizelle, we see where Cal comes over to get her hair together for that party. The hair turned out all right. I just didn't think it was necessary. I think she should have just washed and blow dry her own hair and had him curl and style it. Why was you trying to force that wig situation? Anyway, so she once again trying to explain where the girls are coming from with someone else, instead of us seeing where her and Jamal and the girls sit down and have an earnest conversation, or we see where her and Jamal are having dinner or phone conversation or FaceTime and they're discussing it. We don't see that. All we see is Gizelle carrying the storyline. And she's carrying the storyline in terms of what's going on with her and Jamal, but she's also carrying it in terms of trying to explain why these kids are being so weird about the fact that their dad may or may not be dating a mama. Maybe it's because they've gone out with him when he with other girls. Have you thought about that, Gizelle? Maybe it's because they have been to his house and they have heard him slipping and sliding with some other chicks. Have you thought about that? Maybe they looking at you all crazy, like, why is you acting like you and daddy together and me, you, daddy, and his other girl was out the other day? Like, but she keep trying to explain it. Now, she's supposed to be explaining it to Cal, but she really trying to explain it away to us, how much they are just so protective of her. Ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying that. Them girls are only y'all. They only y'all. They know y'all doing it for a storyline. They know y'all want them to be fake. And they at a stage in their life where they don't do it. They can't. They not doing it. They... y'all should just do what Caucasians do and should have just bribed the kids with cars and stuff and things. And that way they would have gave y'all cooperation, or at least be focused on those things instead of on the truth of what's really going on with you and Jamal. But Cal does give her good advice. Cal does give her really, really great advice. It was just wasted. It was wasted on them. I hope you guys got something from it in terms of leading with love. You know, we've talked about that here. But Gizelle and Jamal, flat. Okay, it just falls flat. Then we get to see the party where, like I said, Monique's body was so tight. Just going over the outfits real quick. I did not understand Ashley wearing that pink dress. She thought she would wear a dress that she was wearing before she got. Why? You know you got all that extra, the puffiness in the center there. You know what I'm saying? Not the body shamer, but why? Why just not wear something cute and comfortable and enjoy that? Why would you be in a position where people got to look away from that really, really soft, giant, pink pooper, whatever they call it? It was just weird. Why would you put that dress on, sis? I just didn't get it. And then it was like pink. It wasn't even black where you can get the illusion, child. I didn't understand that. Let me see what else. Wendy, that white dress was so ill-fitting. It looked like it came off the rack. Now, to me, dresses like that, you kind of have to get custom or you have to alter it. Because the cup in this area, that part there, it's kind of like you know, weird depending on how you got them sitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got this off the shoulder. It's nowhere for you to, so you gonna have to get some lift in there, or you gonna have to get like a custom cup where you can get it. And then she kept trying to kind of hide it with the hair. I was like, no. We can see that while you definitely wanted to wear that dress, not a bad looking dress, it was just ill-fitting. And her makeup is just, I don't know, confessional. She looks pretty, but I don't know. It could get real. You know, I've seen Wendy have some flea market moments, you know what I'm saying? Just putting it out there. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, so Gizelle is talking about, you know, when she first gets there, Karen asked her where Jamal is. She was like, oh, he's in Atlanta. He's got church tomorrow. Okay, Gizelle, whatever. Um, and then we see Robin. Robin come in. Robin had a cute dress on, and she came in with pizza. It was supposed to be a joke. I don't know why they played the clip right before they played the scene. They show her coming in with pizza, and they something about security and all of that. They kind of played it up like it was gonna be like a clash between Robin and Karen because she was bringing the pizza, but it wasn't. It was a cute moment. They put the pizza out. People was eating pizza. Karen was eating pizza. It was a good joke. I also have to say, Robin was the one that pointed out that it was K's everywhere and no R's. Actually, it should have been H's everywhere for the Huger family, right? But Robin was the one to point that out, okay? And she's got a very valid point. She's got a very, very valid point. Also, she when Karen was sitting there chit-chatting with Ashley about, I guess, being an empty nester, you know, she said it like her kids just went off to college. I mean, you know, they've been empty nest for a while, right? So, and Robin was sitting there just taking it all in, just absorbing it all, just ear hustling. And then you know she gonna go back with Gizelle and chop it up about it and drag Karen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she, to me, when it comes to Karen, she doesn't come from a good place. She doesn't come from a good place. And trust me, it's going to be brought up again because Robin's storyline is just pointing out the fact that Karen doesn't have a storyline. Like, basically. Like, her storyline is bullcrap. She ain't going to point out Gizelle. Now, they going down hard for one another. You know what I'm saying? We've already talked about that. She ride for... And she'll talk about the other girls, but she ain't finna say nothing about Gizelle. So that was that. We got to see where Gizelle kind of confronted Candiace about... what she said to Wendy about her being a Gizelle monster. And it's, again, that indignation. First of all, Candiace approached you with an apology. And then she told you she didn't mean it like that. She told you that it wasn't nothing she wouldn't have said to your face. And then she told you that she sorry you felt that way. But that's not how she meant it. And she apologized, you know, sorry. But again, that wasn't my intent. And you still kept trying to bulldog the situation. That's because you're trying to have a moment. You're trying to have a moment. And what's so crazy to me is that I think it's true that Gizelle must be the favorite for the show, like in terms of production and stuff, because they film her a lot, especially when it's like confrontation settings. They film her, you know, having these moments, and they oftentimes film the other person from the back, over the shoulder, that type of thing. But they let her have like full stage presence in the situation. Okay. I guess y'all, this is how y'all want to do it. When that monster turn around and bite y'all in the butt. Okay, like the Nene monster. Let's see. So then we get to this place where Karen comes out, and you know, there's this announcement. It was pointed out that, I think it was Robin that pointed out that she stole the MC from Candiace's party. What do you mean steal? This is their job. If you saw somebody do a great job and now you need to have work done, you might say, give me the number of the person that did this work for you and let me call them. You talk to them and you got a reasonable price. Come out, do this for us. He does. This is what he does. He should be at all y'all parties. That's what networking is. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't stole nothing. Anyway, she comes out of this sliding glass door. I don't know why it wasn't like more presented. It was just this. It was something like, it really seemed like they had the party set, and she had these ideas at the last moment. She wanted to wear this pink suit, and she comes out in this pink suit with a head down and giant pink hat. It was so out of place. Like, she wasn't, it was so out of place. It was so weird. It was like something she decided to do like 20-30 minutes earlier, right? And then she's doing this head bounce thing. I don't know if she had just seen the Mask. Y'all remember when Mask was at the Copacabana party? He comes out with the hat, and she's kind of trying to do that, but it was stiffer and drier, of course. And then she acts like she's stomping through. Meanwhile, Ray is standing there in his house shoes, like in his comfort strides, like looking out of place, like he's not sure. And like I said, Robin throws a lot of shade at Karen, and it is funny when she says she's not even sure if Ray knows why they're having the party. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he always looks thrown off. He always looks like it was not discussed with him, or if it was, that he doesn't remember. So I wonder if Ray is kind of crying out for Karen to recognize that he is just not there anymore, like in terms of, you know, being able to match her step by step, point by point. Like he's in a place where he just really, really, really needs to slow things down, things not be so intense and so, you know, highly charged, right? She seems like she wants to do her own thing and have her own fun, you know, and it's just awkward because you can really see they're on two different pages. Anyway, she gets out there and she wants to dance and kind of shake it up a little bit. And she's like, where is Ray? Like after a few minutes that he been gone, she's like, where is Ray? And that's when they play him walking up the stairs to go to lay down. I was like, oh man, it's funny. It is funny, but at the same time, it's kind of sad, you know. So Ray turned in early, much like the silky straightness of Ashley's hair. Ashley's hair by the end of that night, baby, if she looked like she had been swimming in salt water, I tell you what, that hair was like, oh, it's after midnight. It's after midnight. We're all of these follicles are turning back into pumpkins, darling, pumpkins. Okay, so that is Real Housewives of Potomac. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole Gizelle situation? She just seems like she's trying to over-explain to us why the kids aren't here for this whole situation. And it makes it that much more suspicious. Why don't we ever see them talking? Why don't we ever see her and Jamal having these moments? Why is all of that off limits? Only thing we get is her reference to it, her giving us a summarization of things in this idea. I love who Jamal is now, and I love who I am now, and we don't even know. We have no idea. Okay, all we know is what you tell us, Jizzy. That's it. What y'all think about Karen and Ray, huh? What y'all think about Candiace's husband? Like, what gives? What gives? Where your people at? Where your people at? They say he come for money, but I can't see it. I do not see it. I don't see it in him at all. I don't see it in his upbringing. I don't see it. I don't see it. Now that husband that Wendy got a real cute husband and well spoken. When he was having that awkward conversation with Chris, Monique's husband, sitting at that table, and when he was talking about all he wanted was coochie and coaching and coochie. He knew. He's a lawyer, you know. He carried himself very, very well in that moment. Okay, and at that moment, listen, did y'all see Chris's mama? Y'all remember Chris? He seemed more like his mama than anything, sitting there eating and talking about inappropriate ish. I was like, there's Chris's mama. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.